Stampers, thanks for joining me today. Welcome to the watercolour class. These two cards have been made using sponging and masking techniques and hand colouring. This is a Halloween card that I made, and full instructions for this card are on my blog. Today I'm going to be showing you the Christmas card. Both these cards were made using the Greeting Cards Kids stamp set. 4 delicious little images, aren't they just adorable? And if you want to, you can cut this other image in half and get an extra 2 stamps out of that, which makes it very versatile. Okay, so let's have a look at the Christmas card, and if you need to see the instructions for the Halloween card, they're on my blog. First of all, take some Whisper White cardstock, cut in half and scored down the middle, and a post-it note with a jagged edge that I've just torn onto it. You'll need some Stampin' sponges, and I'm using Tempting Turquoise ink. Circular motions help blend the ink really well, and you'll notice I'm tapping off onto the scratch paper first so I don't get a giant blob of ink on the middle of my card. Just build up the colour gradually. You'll find a gradual build-up is a much more effective sky than if you go in too heavily. I like to leave some of the white showing because it gives the impression of a cloudy, snowy sky. Now when you peel off that post-it note, you'll see you've got a nice white base there. Now I'm stamping on the image of the little girl with the pine tree in black StazOn ink. And the large pine tree is from the Lovely as a Tree stamp set. Now I'm coming in with soft suede and a blender pen and creating a little bit of a trunk coming up the tree just with a few dashes. And you can use your acrylic block as a palette. I'm using a blender pen and some Tempting Turquoise ink here and colouring in the coat and the hat with, again, a very light touch. I've decided that the light is coming from the left hand side of this card, so you notice that as I finish the colouring I'm going to be adding shading to the right hand side of the image so that you get the effect of light and shade. Now I'm coming in with a Regal Rose pen and using the brush tip end of the marker itself. It's a fairly light colour, so you can use direct marker to paper technique here. You can see how I'm creating the shadows. See how I'm putting a darker line on the right hand side? Now I'm coming in with the Tempting Turquoise marker using the fine tip just to create some freehand stripes on the scarf in blue. Next, some pink pirouette for the stockings, and using the same colour as the large pine tree, which is Old Olive, for the little pine tree she's carrying in her sled. And again, the darker colours are on the right, blending that from the block. And now I'm colouring the sled with the soft suede. And you can see how I'm shading this so that the shadow is on the right hand side, and now I'm blending that right off on the scratch paper to create a very soft image there. Just finishing off with the mittens. And now the Blush Blossom is a fabulous marker that Stampin' Up sells, which is ideal for skin colours. I'm coming in with a very light touch, and you'll see how I start to build up the colour by shading around the eyes, nose and mouth with a heavier touch, and keep the centre of the face quite light and the left hand side of the face quite light. Okay, now I'm coming in with some pink pirouette and making the cheeks, and I'm going to use a blender pen to just blend the edges so there are no hard edges on that. Okay, and here's the sentiment coming in, Merry Christmas, in black StazOn. You can tell it StazOn because it's sticky. And the next thing I'm going to do is bring in some of the shiny, glittery effects that I put on my final card. For the card I originally made, I used white glimmer paint, or shimmer paint, and this time I'm going to use the Uniball Signo gel pen, and I'm just doing squiggles all over the pine tree. It's quite easy to do. I'm not being too exact with this, just squiggly lines to give the effect of snow hanging in the branches and some on the base of the tree there. And finally, to finish off, I'm using the Dazzling Details glitter glue, and this is really fun to use and so easy. I always start a little bit off on my scratch paper first just to make sure it has a good flow, and then just draw it on in curvy lines to give the effect of some glimmery, glittery snow. And finally, I'm just going to go up and dab it all the way through the tree to give the effect of shiny snow. So that's the cards for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day and happy stamping. Bye now.